Now today's being fucking complicated. It's killing me. I have to stream. These niggas are fucking. Hey. Yes. Yes. Why the fuck is my voice on the stream? Why the fuck is my voice on the stream?
Final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Dominic Easley in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
Here's Carr to throw. He's got him in, complete. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. Looks to be right around the 40. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First carry for Marshawn Lynch. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. They'll run it. Here's Lynch, and they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 6-year man Marquette King on to punt. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a little too much. 1st and 10. Simeon. A dump off to Anderson. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10. A former Cal Bear now, C.J. Anderson on the carry. Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. And there are the numbers for C.J. Anderson on the ground last week. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Aldon Smith from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Play fake to Anderson. Now Simeon. Got him in. He finds Sanders. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos. 3.5 to go, 1st quarter. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Marshawn a week ago. 19 carries, 72 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
I know we're still playing 11 on 11 in the NFL, but Chris Harris's ability to move into the slot and be a nickel corner makes me think we should have 12 guys listed on depth charts all the time, because he goes in there and takes away the quick, small receivers, the tall, rangy receivers, and sometimes if tight ends move in there, he can cover them as well with his strength.
Well, just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, if we had any questions, that run kind of answered him. He's still Marshawn Lynch.
Hasn't lost a thing. Maybe running with a renewed sense of purpose and energy after that year off. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And complete, right side to Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
The growth of Demaryius Thomas since college has led him to be a consistent Pro Bowl receiver in the NFL. In college, ran a lot of the deep routes, almost all the time, almost exclusively. The NFL has added in everything else. Big-bodied guy, excellent production, but still his stock in trade, getting downfield and catching the long ball.
On 2nd and 10, Simeon. Mario Edwards. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
From his end zone, Simeon on 3rd and long. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is taken at about the 14. Evades him at the 20. Oh, he spins again. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Garden. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Well, if you haven't gotten enough football this Thanksgiving weekend, there's still more to come. Tonight,
yes,
you're pumped up. It's two of the most storied franchises in NFL history doing battle, the Packers and Steelers from Heinz Field. Then tomorrow night, more. Wrap up your Cyber Monday with the Texans at the Ravens from Baltimore.
Man, is it time to start shopping already?
Go online, man. It said Cyber Monday. Click, click, click. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Left side here to Sanders. And down he'll go at the 25. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Gun, Simeon. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And it's fielded at the 34. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. Now the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
But he gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now it's Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Todd Davis, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Not something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid off.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And now Sebastian Janikowski on from a long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And now Sebastian Janikowski on from the long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Simeon now to throw. They'll find the rookie from La Tech. It's Carlos Henderson. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard at the 36.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Ohio State, Garyon Conley. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
They start the drive with Lynch. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Carr to throw on second down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
On third and long, it's Carr. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. It's a 69-yard punt. 69 yards. Wow. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Trevor Siemian and the Broncos heading back out. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. Oh, yeah, that's right. Winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Siemian. Eluding the pressure right. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A first down as it's Siemian with a hook up to Sanders.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And that is incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Second down now after the incompletion. To the air again, Siemian. And he spots Henderson open left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. And the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling lead to no yards gained. And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. But anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second is Simeon. On a crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard around the 37. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Now it's Simeon. And that's complete to Sanders. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. From the red zone now, Simeon. He had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Back to the air, Simeon on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful when the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
And McManus able to put it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Returning it, Carlos Henderson, able to slither by. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn it because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Broncos on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Simeon going underneath for Charles. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Fresh set of downs here. A shotgun snap for Simeon. Dancing to his left. Incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Demarius Thomas, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Simeon. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On second down, here's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And the Raiders pick it up.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I'd have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
On second down, Lynch. And he's got some space here. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over. And the Broncos get there and take him down. DeMarcus Walker in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for the young man. The first sack of his NFL career.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long
point to come. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time.
Anderson loses the football, and the Raiders pick it up.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aldon Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. Able to get outside the pocket and complete the pass.
And he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down. And there they went crossing route against his own defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and now it's second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Second and 10, Simeon again. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. Here's Simeon. Now Simeon stripped. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. gives to Marshawn. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. Fights through him. They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
Filet, 10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Now a 1st down throw, Simeon. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Play fake to Anderson. Now Simeon. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. On 1st and 10, Simeon. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Again, Simeon. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Eric Decker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Marshawn Lynch and the Raider offense heading back out there. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Michael Crabtree, he had it and lost it, and that'll bring up second down. Worth noting, Crabtree had 9 drops last year, most in the league. Now, granted, that came on 145 targets.
And so he had plenty of opportunity, but still a little bit of a surprise. Coming out of college, one of the best parts of his game, his strong hands.
A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Von Miller in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Marquette King now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Another drive getting ready to start here for Demaryius Thomas. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he's brought down after a good game. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
And making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the 50, it's Simeon. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
Simeon, throw left side complete. That's Charles. Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. On first down, Simeon. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Demaryius Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year. And now the Broncos are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do in the 2-point conversion.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
This will be fielded at the 8th. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block. but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Lynch. Room to run inside to Ford. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch, 54 yards. And the Raiders have moved out in front. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. On 2nd and 10, Simeon. There's that man again, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run. Anderson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right.
And he's not going to make it out. Lynch is tackled in the end zone for the safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Trevor Simeon ready to retake the field. A field goal does him no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There was definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Got him in. He finds Sanders. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. To Decker over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
They'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson with time running out. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Second down now after the pass completion. Back to throw. Carr. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type